Ziggity Zig talking his way out of bronze, game number 83 between myself up here at the top left of Daybreak and Boogieman. Boogieman down here in the bottom left, the Terran player. I should probably try to do some more Zerg games, but the fact is I haven't really been playing many Zerg. So I want to mix it in there and get a few for the most part. I usually like to just sort of represent all the different races in my playing against it. Now, speaking of my playing against it, before we really get into this game, which has a massive fail towards the end, I've been playing some recently, and while Season 7 seemed to start out well, I have been massively screwing up. This is one of those times, and I'm actually curious to find out how I screwed up here. I haven't watched this since I played it a couple of days ago. As of today, though, if you watched last Friday's extra game, the Target Portrait Probe, I actually did get the Probe Portrait, so I now have the Probe Portrait, and I'm very excited about that. And then, that day on Friday that I uploaded that, I went on to try to play a game, and it just crashed. It so totally crapped out, lagged. It wasn't server lag, it wasn't game lag, so theoretically things kept going on for him, but I just could not, I couldn't shift click things, I couldn't shift build buildings, I was floating so many minerals because my macro's gotten a lot better, but the problem is my machine cannot handle the amount of units that I get with that macro, so I need a better machine. That's all there is to it. It's the only way I'm going to get out of bronze. It's the only way I'm going to win games. So Griff had an extra machine, and so we're working on trying to get that set up, so that hopefully will be next week. And we'll see if that makes any improvements, try to get a little bit of footage of that. So here's an interesting thing. This is what I found. I found Engineering Bay first. Now, I don't know. Do you need... No, for a bunker, you need... So the only thing that you really need an Engineering Bay for... Do you need an Engineering Bay to build a turret? I think you do. A bunker, you don't. You only need a barracks for a bunker. So I thought, I was really panicking and quite confused at this point. So let's go back and see what I do. Based on that, I think, alright, Engineering Bay first. Does that mean he's going to bunker rush me? So I worried a little bit. And I think I made a couple of mistakes based on that, but we'll see. Yeah, there we go. So I throw down a forge. Don't know why. I just did. Now, he's got his Engineering Bay done. He's not really doing anything else with it. So this brings me back to something that I've been finding in bronze especially lately is I have no idea. I mean, I'm trying to learn how to scout and how to tell what a person could be doing and what they could not be doing. The only thing that I guess an Engineering Bay tells me is that they can't really be rushing. So my responsive build forge, yeah, that was bad. That was a terrible idea. Because I thought an Engineering Bay meant that he was going for some huge, sudden rush. I don't really know enough about all the different races, so now I know that the Engineering Bay, all it does is means that he can build some missile turrets, so I guess he's just going to try to get ready just in case I come in with DTs, maybe? It's easy, early detection. So I still, at this point, I'm just trying to pump out some units because I'm so freaked out. I'm like, what is an Engineering Bay first build? What does that mean? That all I'm doing, building some units. I've got a forge I'm doing nothing with. I have no gas yet. Somehow I'm not getting supply blocked, but I'm definitely not... I mean, even then, I still am leading a little bit in this game, but I need to start paying attention and smartening up. Here's my little wall of stuff that I'm trying to, sort of double up and not Artosis pile on everything, so everything's pretty much double insured at the moment. Got enough gas, we'll be ready to start on Warp Gate. Start Warp Gate, you hear me? 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah. So he's going with +1 weapons at 5. That's 3 minutes he sat there not doing anything. Technically, I can start on +1 as well. I think I eventually do, I don't know. But I basically am stuck on 2 gate because I panicked so much and had no idea what to do. So here comes the 3rd gate. That's cool. I'm not really making enough units, which is another one of my problems. But, I'm staying ahead. I'm doing okay. What's the income level? Sure. That's not bad. APM. My average is about 21. Cool. So, I have a modestly saturated base here, but not much else. Warp gate, I keep forgetting to... and I go with some sort of weird 4 gate. Because I don't feel like I have enough gas because I freaked out about everything so much. So I finally have a sentry and a stalker. So a little bit more than just Marines on the way. And man, seriously, I had never seen an engineering bay that early, and I just did not know what it meant. So it throws you off if you're not ready for a lot of different things. I mean, I am a new player. I am pretty bronze. I don't play all that often. I only have a certain number of games. Now let's see. If I have a little over 100 wins and I'm at a 50% win ratio, that means I've played 200 games. That's it. Total. 200 since last August. So if you put that in terms of, let's see, that's what, 4 a week? No, it's coming up on a year, so 2 a week. Approximately. I'm just making math up in my head here. So I decided to try to expand, not really knowing what else I could do here. He's working on Armor 1. Finally putting a tech lab on there. So I get my Robo Bay down in my slight expansion here. I am ahead a little bit, but he's got upgrades going. So basically right now it's just sort of a base game. It's getting a starport, it's getting another command center. All of his units there, so he seems to be a little bit supply blocked, which is interesting. I'm not seeing a... So here's a small force. And I think, well, okay, that's a pretty small force. I can take care of that. Memory serves, I do. Now, what I should have done is... Yeah, I should have had a bit more... should have had that force field out a little sooner. And he stays down there with his 5 dudes. Big deal. I beam in some more. So I pretty much took that out. Even though he was already... He was at 1-0. And I'm at nothing. So I'll get my first observer going out. It's going to go over and check out his natural. Pretty much sit here on the corner. Unless he's got a missile turret right there, which I don't think he did. My expansion's just about up. Let's have a look at this. I stop mining, and then hopefully this will take off and go a little bit better, because I have few more harvesters than him. Then I need to start working on getting that count back up there. There goes the observer. Army supply is still high. Worker supply is getting up there. I'm slowly catching up. Yep, there I go. Okay. That's good. So, more probes. Now I start working on some immortals. Because even though I really only scouted Marines, I like to get an immortal or two just in case. So let's see what I see here. Still trying to beam in. So I generally work on army. I probably should have started some upgrades, just at least a +1. So he does have, alright, so he does have some marauders in there. So it's not a bad decision. Now here's the cool thing. I see this coming down, and I see those. So I think to myself, I should engage. Decent decision, even in retrospect, because I was slightly stronger. You know, with my observer, I can check this and say, you know what, my army can take that.
I'm here in the shadows.
And I'm still even reinforcing here in the center. There's some of that descriptive lag I've been talking about. I am just about pylon blocked. Oh, good, a pylon just came in. Sweet. I'm ahead, and that bugs me. So I'm looking at him, and I'm seeing 1-1. Meanwhile, concussive shells, stim. Do they have combat shield? Can't quite tell. There we go. I'm finally getting some +1, but it's probably going to take me quite a while to get that. So, because I was pylon blocked, I threw a bunch down there. I could probably use some more immortals, because I think I've only got... So he's got 8 Marauders, 15 Marines. I've got 11 Stalkers, 1 Immortal, 3 Zealots. I am a little bit outnumbered. Ah, there we go. So his army, I did have a small window there in which I could have a really good shot at it. Oh, there we go. Alright. So I set my observer to follow the medevac. And then I try to get my army going. 2 Immortals. Another one on the way. Now I think... yeah. So I got the robotics facility patched over there. Getting down a couple gateways. Now let's have a quick look at the base. It's 13 minutes. And I'm still on 3 gate, 1 robo at 13 minutes. I'm getting enough money, but I'm just not spending it on structures. I probably could have 2 forges by now. Yeah, there's the problem. I tried that in a game today, but I just lagged out so much it was pointless. Yeah, because he's coming in at the exact same rate, so we're both pretty much doing the same amount of income. We're both not really spending all that much. He's a little high up there as well. He's bringing in more medevacs. So it's the medevacs that's probably the biggest problem to me. I needed a bigger death ball than this, especially if I was going up against medevacs. I'm pretty sentry heavy. Yeah, 8 sentries. Still only 11 stalkers. Come on. But he's just got 19 marines. 3 zealots? Really? See, this is what I'm curious about, because this is when stuff happens that I wish I had a bit more control over. Oh, let's get that out of the way. So 69-59. This, to me, looks like a big army up against a little army. Ah, so he did pack a few in there. So I got him just as he was about to take off. Now the stupid thing here is that I outnumber him. Why don't I go get him? And there he goes.
I return to serve.
Those are on their way out. I can see it. I can watch it happen. Ah, there it is. So he takes out that observer finally. I reinforce. I'm at +1. He manages to take out a couple of bits of army. Pause there. 84-59. Ready for this? 84-59. I Guardian Shield. I get up the hill. He's on 1-1. And it's all these Marauders in the back that the Immortals cannot quite get to. And I thought, let's pause halfway through. 84-59? 58-54. What just happened to 30 supply? Did I kill anything? Sure didn't feel like I did. Pause again. He lost 12 supply and I lost 90. Well, that didn't help. I still don't get what happened there. What am I at? That was when I was at 58. Let's go back one more. 84. 84. Alright. There's my units. Go. Am I just not focusing? Are these guys not able to shoot? They're moving around too much. Yeah. Alright, it was the engagement. They wiggled and they boogied and they... Yeah, did you see that? They were all dancing at the back. They were dancing at the back and not helping at the front. Pushing up and then pulling back. That was a bad engagement on my end. Because I got stuck on this ramp. I did blow away the rock, so that made it a little bit better. Oh, don't go in. What are you going in up against? Not enough is what you're going up against. So I take that out. They come back with these medevacs. The medevacs are still full of dudes. And what happens there is they come over and they still go have to do that drop. So I still think I have a tiny shot here, and I keep bringing in more suckers down here. And that does a little bit, but not much. Because what are these? Yeah, they're still 1-1. I'm 1-0, so I'm useless. And here comes this drop. He just wanted to do that drop so badly. There it is. Where did those get beamed in? Oh, I just beamed... I saw that happening and I beamed in down there. That was poorly planned. Well timed. That was me thinking that he'd gone around my attack, but he'd been there for the entire time and then he left. Okay, engagements are the problem. Also a slow computer, but engagements are a big problem. But why am I up against dudes who... I don't understand the skill level offset. That's my big problem. But anyway, I'll think about that on my own. Leave me a comment, send me an email, ziggitysig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter @ZiggyStarcraft. There's more. Stay tuned.